Brought to you by The Vault.
Hi, I'm Shy.
And I'm Kathy, and this is our Girlfriends Talk Show where each week we have fun and we spill the tea.
Or the wine. Be sure to find us wherever you listen to your podcast and follow us on social media.
Hey everybody, welcome to Girlfriends Talk Show with Shy and Kathy and the side chicks. And I only have my chicks to the side today because, I'll tell you in a second, because after I tell you what the name of this podcast is. So, 2020 sucks. It sucks hard. It sucks rocks. It sucks everything it possibly can suck. And isn't that embarrassing? So today's show is going to be all about embarrassment and embarrassing things. And you girls, as well as me, are going to share our most embarrassing moments. And I'm going to tell you guys something that literally only Shy and I know because we were the only two people that were there. And it's the worst.
I'm excited.
Y'all are going to die. Anyway, we posted our question of the week on our Facebook page. So go to Girlfriends Talk Show with Shy and Kathy on Facebook. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't. So, ladies, I want y'all to know we're already at 1,160 follows.
Nice.
Not bad.
Oh,
But you know what? We got a goal, and we want to hit 1,500 before the end of this tragic, disgusting year of 2020. But if we hit that goal, if we hit 1,500 likes, we want you to invite all your friends and everyone else. Then we're going to have a big party, and you're going to be invited.
To party with us.
A girlfriend party.
It's a girlfriend's party.
I love
Who doesn't want to be invited to that?
At the secret
fun.
clandestine location.
Maybe. Yeah, if they'll partner with us, which I think they're going to. They need to start paying us some money so we can actually say their name. Girlfriends Talk Show is also on Instagram, so go follow us there because there's some specific content that we share there that we don't share on our Facebook page. So that could be nudes. Not really, because we get kicked off Instagram. Have y'all noticed, though, by the way, that Instagram and Facebook are interfacing more?
Yeah.
And y'all know that Facebook owns Instagram. So I was wondering when that cultivation would start. But it's already, or enculturation.
It's coming. It's here.
Yeah, it's happening. So again, 2020 sucks. This is not embarrassing because we have nothing to be embarrassed about. But we just went through our second major hurricane of this season. So you guys might remember a few episodes back, we talked about Hurricane Laura. Well, Hurricane Delta came through about a week ago. Actually, It was a week ago today. And packed a different punch. They were both bitches. There's no doubt about it. Laura had high winds. I had a tree on my house. I still have a hole in my roof. Delta decided to be a little bit more wet.
Yeah,
Not
she was
wet.
in the good way.
Not in the good way.
Not at all.
So, MK, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience? I just got some water in my front room through the hole that's still in my roof and the gaping chasm that is my ceiling. But regardless, I'm not as salty as you.
MK?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot of water. And that was it.
So much water that you have nothing, really.
Yeah.
I mean, except for what people have so gracious.
People
now.
have been awesome, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are rebounding and all that
Yeah,
good stuff. But I
yeah.
have never seen, have you ever seen a flood like that? Have you seen like what water can do?
It's scary. I'm like literally so freaked out by water recently.
Well, yeah.
You know.
How many feet did you guys have in your house?
It was 5. So it was
5 feet.
it was to the
I'm 5'2".
Yeah,
Think about
exactly.
yeah,
Wow.
it was to the light switches. So we saved all of the stuff on the walls, like the high stuff, the decorations, and our dishes. Thank God.
Thank God
Lord,
you still got the dishes.
I mean, if I didn't have those dishes, honestly,
Well, those dishes came from a very famous place that is no longer open
yeah. So
in our town. But yeah, I mean, so that was tragic, but I'm so glad you guys got out.
yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
And you will rebound. Actually, you'll
Oh,
recover even better and stronger. That's what we Louisianians do. So a week ago, I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we were coming home the day before Delta was to hit, right? So we're talking to this really nice lady that's a bus driver on the airport, at the airport, and she's asking us where we're from, and then she said, "Oh my goodness, wasn't there a hurricane?" I said, "There was, and there's another one coming." And she just looked and she said, I don't mean to say this in any kind of disrespectful way, but why do you people live in Louisiana? It was hard for me to answer, and then I backed up and I said, you
The
know
gumbo,
what? It's the food and the people. I was
the
Yeah.
alcohol content.
And we didn't really get like a choice where we were born.
No,
I mean,
but
we could leave, but
and that's what she said. So New Mexico was her home, but you know, she said Louisiana's home to you, and I was like, exactly. But a few more of these suckers, and I'm out. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
you're not
One
going to
more.
Colorado.
it's a whole lot. Well, so here's segging into like embarrassing moments. Okay, so Thursday night. You know, hurricanes coming through. There's nothing better to do than to sit there with your back porch light on. You're inside, aka me. I'm inside, and I convert my alcohol drinks from wine to tequila because it was just that time, right? And so around 10:30, a friend of mine that is an anchor on our local news station, Katie, yeah, that may or may not have the hots for her, decides to text me and ask me what's going on. And he's on the air. They're broadcasting live. And so I was like, well, you know, not a whole lot. I'm just sitting here and everything seems to be okay right now. So he was like, hey, do you want to call in? So I'm like, heck yeah, man. I'm 2 tequila drinks in. I probably had 3 glasses of wine, maybe 4. Not really sure. So I did a live call in with our local NBC affiliate while I was more than a little tipsy. But
Was he texting while he was on the news?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He
was
does all the
texting?
time. But anyway, so that was a little bit embarrassing, but only the people that really know me knew. And Shy said actually to her wife, she said, he must not know her well enough to know she's already 2 bottles in.
2
And I'm
bottles,
like,
2 shots.
yeah, whatever.
We were all pretty deep at that point. MK was deep in water.
Oh, my
we were
goodness.
deep in wine.
All right. So moving back just a little bit, if you could live anywhere other than Louisiana, where would it be? Just super quick.
Desert.
Desert.
In the United States,
Just wherever. It doesn't matter.
I think I'm gonna have to go with like your classic answer. Northern California
I love it.
would be nice.
I
Either
love
that
it.
or like one of the Carolinas. You know, like on the coast over there.
Yeah, I probably would take North Carolina and just visit South Carolina. But yeah, for sure. I'm a West Coast girl. I'm a Northwest Coast girl for sure. All right. Well, coming up next, we are going to tell you guys all about embarrassment. So I did a little bit of research. Do you know embarrassment is actually a cultivated societal like emotion? I'm going to tell you how and why that happened, and then we're going to really freaking embarrass ourselves. At least I am, and that's coming up next in segment 2.
Hey, you! Yes, you, watching or listening to this amazing podcast hosted by 2 of the most dynamic and brilliant women you'll ever meet. Advertise with us and watch your business grow as big as our heads. Seriously, hit us up at vault.news/contact and find out how affordable you can advertise on our show.
All right. So the title of this podcast is, well, wasn't that embarrassing? Or it's about to be embarrassing. So I did a little bit of research, a little deep thoughts by Kathy. And embarrassment is actually a real psychological issue.
That makes sense.
It does, right? So embarrassment is a public emotion that makes you feel exposed, awkward, and filled with regret.
I feel that quite a lot.
Now, I will tell you, this list was impressive and it was random because they had an example of embarrassments. Now, this is Psychology Today. It's a publication that you can find anywhere, and it's very well respected. So examples of embarrassments include tripping and falling, which I've done multiple times, and my story is part of that, spilling drinks, ripping pants, stalling cars, having one's private thoughts or feelings disclosed, accidental flatulence or belching, receiving undesired attention, and forgetting the names of others. Is that not the most random list of embarrassments that you?
But they're
maybe-
all
Yeah.
so relatable. Like, I feel like I've checked off every single one.
I think
of
we
those.
all have.
Yeah.
So embarrassment likely evolved to maintain social order. So basically, you're embarrassed about something so that society continues to function in some kind of normal way.
Right. So like you get embarrassed
you
about
don't-
farting in public because that's not okay.
Right. But But the strange part is, and it went on to explain that that might be okay for you to do in front of your family or your friends. So where does embarrassment like draw the line? Well, we're about to tell you where it is, and I'm going to go last. So we're going to share our most embarrassing stories. I prepped these girls, I don't know, about 45 minutes, an hour ago.
Something like that. I had to
I'm
go
like,
dig
I'm
through
going
my
to need
memories.
you to bare your souls here. And it doesn't matter what, I mean, you could be embarrassed during sexual intercourse. It doesn't matter. We're all friends here. We're all girlfriends here. And we're all going to, support you through your embarrassment until you get to mine. And everybody's going to think I'm a loser, but that's okay.
I have quite a few embarrassing stories.
I need the most embarrassing story, Katie.
I don't know.
The one you don't want to tell anybody. The one you swore you would never say out loud.
Well, the thing with my embarrassing stories is before people can embarrass me with them, I just tell everyone, and I'm like, now you know, and I'm not embarrassed, so you can't use it against me.
You get the gat, yeah.
But I think a big one for a while was my Hootie and the Blowfish story. So me and my two girlfriends went to see Hootie and the Blowfish in Dallas, right? We make this little road trip. We get ready. We drink a little bit while we get ready. And it's a great time. And we are waiting on the lift to pick us up and bring us to the location. And I'm like, hey, guys, can I go to the bathroom first? And they're like, no, you can't. We have to hurry up and hop in the lift. And so we get there at it was like an outdoor concert area. And so before we get in line, I'm like, y'all, now can I go to the bathroom? And they're like, oh, just wait till we get in there. Well, this line is long, okay?
Mm-hmm. It's a concert line.
Yes. And we are smack dab in the middle of it when I start doing the TT dance. And you know what dance I'm talking about, okay? And they're like, do your Kegels. And I'm like, yo.
Sometimes it doesn't matter.
I'm trying, but my body is about to betray me. There's only so much I can take. And so before I pee on myself right there, I take off sprinting, pushing people out of the way to the back of the line.
Thank
right?
God you hadn't had any kids.
And I'm sprinting, but then as I'm sprinting, right, I'm peeing on myself.
Nope. My story has
So then by the time I got to
too.
the back of the line, and it all come out, and there was a pee trail, and I got back there, and people were looking at me, and I was like, you know what, whatever. I don't know any of y'all. I'm just going to walk my booty back to my friends, and don't even talk to me. Don't look at me.
Yes, I smell like pee. Shut
I
up.
had a dress on, so that was a huge savior, because then I went to the bathroom and cleaned everything, and I was standing, so none got on my clothes.
Yep. Mine has a component of that too.
But that
Thank you for going first.
It's so very dramatic, and I was embarrassed about it at first, but then I was like, oh well.
You just drank some more.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. All right, MK, what's yours?
So I did have another one, but I feel like I have one that I just remembered when you said that story. So
Is this all going to be about urination?
no, it's not. It's
Dude,
not
it's a real
urination.
thing though.
So my dad had brought me and my cousin to Firefly, which was a music festival up in Delaware. And the first day we get there, we weren't drinking or anything. But
How old were y'all?
19, 18.
Okay.
So we were going to see Elle King.
Yeah.
And we were right in the front. And I was wearing this dress, and it was kind of scandalous because it was short, but I was okay because it was in Delaware. So, I don't know anybody. So we get to the very front of the crowd, and I was so hot, and I don't know if I just hadn't drank enough water or what, but I promise I was not drinking. That was,
Not
whatever.
that time.
And so I just passed out right there in the very front, and my dad picked me up and ran towards the back of the crowd, and my dress was tucked into my underwear, my thong underwear.
Oh,
and
no.
he had me like this, and I came to.
They saw ass crack.
I came to, and
Yeah,
there
they
was
did.
like 5 guys
there were.
around my dad, like, move, like trying to help my dad get us to like the side. And I just felt this nothingness on my behind. And so anyway, that was that.
Is that the one that you just thought of?
That's the one I just thought of, yeah. Because I mean, I'm 6'2", so I'm not like a baby. Like I'm,
You're
long.
poking out.
And my dad's like trying to get through this crowd, like running, like he's freaking out. He's like, my baby. And my
Ass out.
just was all the way out.
Somebody would have
so.
carried me. All right. Well, my story's much worse. So let's set this out, okay? Shy and I are in New Orleans. Enough said.
What year?
And this was just a few years ago.
Okay.
Like 3 years ago. And so we had gone for work, and we did what we needed to do, and we decided we were going to go out for, night on the town. So I take her to this really super cool place that I love. It's called a wine pub. It's called Copper Vine Wine Pub. It's super cool. Y'all follow it on Instagram. It's so cool. Anyway, so it's a little bougie.
Yeah.
She feels a little bit awkward. I'm like, dude, this is so like nice in New Orleans and whatever. And she's like, this is not the New Orleans that I know. So she goes up to the bartender. She asks the bartender for recommendations. I need a dive bar. Like, I need to know where you go after work, right?
That's my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he tells her it's this place called, it's like Pirate something. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm down. I mean, it's cool. You can stick me in a dive bar and I'm okay, really and truly. So we go to this place. I order this dumb drink at first, and then I was like, this is not the drink to drink here. So I start drinking beer.
Right.
And I drink more beer and more beer and more beer. The night goes on. All kinds of weird stuff is happening. Like, there's this guy that looks like a pimp, and I'm not lying. He had a pimp hat on.
Did
but
he have
had,
the cane?
No, he had a bandage on his hand, and whatever was wrong with his hand was like oozing and leaking. And he kept
That's
these
disgusting.
3 cups of red liquid in front of him, and like he would take a sip out of one, and then he put it down and put a napkin on it. It was and then he would go to the jukebox and play Taylor Swift.
Maybe he was a vampire.
No, I have no idea what he was. It was so weird. So this is all going on. This guy starts talking to me. He's the one from Bermuda that I couldn't shake off for a while.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Tony.
yeah.
Anyway, so he's sitting there, and I'm just pounding beers back. I don't know how many beers I had. And it was time to go. And I was like, okay, well, it's time. I didn't go to the bathroom. Did not go to the bathroom. So Shy's like, Kathy, it's time to go. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. I get off the bar stool, and I'm like, whoa. A little bit drunker than I thought, right?
Right.
We start walking back to our hotel. Now, it's late. We're going from this place to the Superdome, which was probably 3 or 4 blocks. They're big city blocks. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. And she's kind of
It'll
having
hit you like
she's
that.
kind of having to carry me anyway, like hold me up. And I'm like, I really have to go, Shy. And she's like, no, you don't. No, you don't have to go. And I'm like, no, I really do. I had jeans on I was not a dress wearer. So I had jeans on. She's like, no, you don't. And I was like, I'm going to go right now. And she was like, oh my God, go over there in that doorway. And I was like, nope, it's happening. It's just happening.
It's
So
just happening.
Kinda
I
like
peed in my
bridesmaids.
jeans. Hang on. I peed in my jeans. And she was rolling laughing because that's never happened to me in my life. Ever,
Oh.
ever, ever, ever. So I was cussing her up one side and down the other. I was like, this is your fault. I smell like pee. This is disgusting. I was saying all kinds of other words. But anyway, so we're going back to a really nice hotel, right? Now, I have completely wet my pants.
Right.
And I am completely inebriated. And so there are these 2 sets of escalators. I make it up the first escalator just fine. Just fine. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I'm cool.
Kathy.
No. The second escalator,
No.
You did not.
I fell backwards on it.
like,
Ever.
like
So I have
backwards, like
freaking,
head.
oh, y'all, I am surprised that I'm alive right now to tell that, like, and I was so drunk, but I was like, this is not good. And yeah, so the escalator's going up. I fell backwards.
But you're still moving up.
So literally, I'm still moving up. Shy's already at the top. She is freaking dying laughing. There are people over on the other escalator going down. They're like, oh my God. And I'm thinking, I really just wanted to die. So I have completely wet pee pants. And by the way, it was the mayor's Mardi Gras ball that was there too. So
love her. You gotta love her.
It was, needless to say, the fact that I actually got off the escalator, I rode up with my feet forward. And I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and get sucked under by this escalator. Yeah. So my friend stood up on top. My girlfriend stood up on top of the escalator and laughed her ass off at me.
I would have been scared to death. Like, I would have thought you were dead.
I would have laughed.
I would have screamed and.
I'm not young. And I mean, this was like 3 years ago. So, I mean, I was 50 or close to 50. I mean, and I'm like, whoa, people don't rebound from this kind of stuff easily. But somehow, some way, I mustered up enough dignity to like get myself up, walk to my room somehow, fall on the floor basically whenever I got there, take all my clothes off, and stick, like, I thought my clothes into a bag, but I didn't. I stuck Shy's clothes in a bag, so my clothes were still out on the floor, and went and took a shower and did not kill myself and woke up the next day. But it was all Shy's fault.
I can't believe you took a shower.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I would have just
I was humiliated.
been on the floor naked
Peed
until the next
all
day.
over you. Yeah.
Thought I was going to die
And then I would have been
deaths.
hungover, and I wouldn't have moved then either, I don't think.
I did it all.
You're great. Like, you're...
Dude,
the
I
most
wish I could have seen you fall backwards.
embarrassing story that has ever been told. I swear to God, I swore Shy to secrecy. She only told 2 people, I think, her wife and her daughter. And I was like, you can never tell anybody else. But I just told all you guys because guess what? I survived. Embarrassment is part of human nature. That story, that particular one is not. I advise highly against it. If you're sitting on a bar stool drinking, pounding beers, it's probably best to go to the bathroom and then probably best not to go up 2 flights of escalators, right?
Right.
So
I agree with you there.
Yeah. Urban Dictionary word of the day is appropriate. It's embarrassed.
Is that like
Embarrassed.
online embarrassment?
Yes, it's-
embarrassed.
Yeah.
I was wondering how you were going to pronounce
That's hard.
it because I was like, I wonder.
Embarrassed. I don't know.
Embarrassed.
Yeah. The act of humiliating oneself via electronic or social media. I was so embarrassed when I accidentally sexted my mom.
That shit has happened to friends of mine.
They sext their mom?
I think they've meant to sext someone and send it to a family member on accident. Yes.
Whoa.
I sent a picture of this is another
That's
embarrassing story,
traumatizing.
but there was like this picture, it was a book sack that looked like a ball sack, and I sent it on accident to my teacher in high school.
I remember that story. Yes.
Yes. So I'm
All
sorry,
right.
Miss
Well, be
Lita.
careful who you send whatever to. Be careful on escalators. Be careful drinking beer. And you know what? Girlfriends, boyfriends, embarrassing things happen to everybody. So make sure you got a girlfriend with you so she can make sure to laugh her ass off when you have an embarrassing moment.
Absolutely. I will
And
do
as
that.
That's the best part.
You know, right? Yeah. So she's standing there at the top of the escalator, laughing her ass off instead of trying
That's
to
a
come
true
save me.
girlfriend.
You think?
Absolutely.
I'm not really sure. Anyway, as always, stay girlfriends.